Welcome back to another football show. We got a great program for you guys, just like always. Week 15 of the NFL officially in the books. We're going to talk about what this week taught us, week 15. We're going to do some Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals talk. We're going to talk about the Bills-Patriots game. We're going to talk about Trevor Lawrence, and we're also going to talk about the Broncos-Packers game. We also want to thank PointsBet. None of this would be possible without PointsBet. If you guys need a sports book or online casino, PointsBet is literally the best app to use. We got the NBA underway, the NHL's underway. We still got plenty of football left. And with March Madness around the corner, no better time to get the app than now. Also, while you're internet surfing, go to the TikTok page, Sideshow Kit. That's where you get tons of sports clips from this show and other things. And while you're still surfing out there on the interweb, go to Birdcore. It is a comedy page that me and my friends run. Super cool stuff over there. Go ahead and check that out. With that being said, let's kick it into gear. What this week taught us, week 15. After 5 years, Kyle Pitts finally decided to clock into work. The Bucs are trying their hardest to miss the playoffs. The Ravens shut out Joe Burrow for the first time in his pro career. #fire Zach Taylor. Jalen Hurts said ball up top after pissing down his leg last week just to dominate the worst team in the league this week. Nobody wants to play the Houston Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs are eliminated. How weird does that sound? The New England Patriots blew a 21-0 lead for the first time ever at home thanks to James Cook and co. Trevor Lawrence may be a top 10 quarterback in the league. The Bears shred a great Cleveland Brown defensive unit. The Panthers saw the Bucs lose to a division opponent and said, I want to do that too. The Detroit Lions are in serious trouble. Bo Nix passed the test, and 9 exposed the Cowboys and probably ended their playoff hopes. And that's what Week 15 taught us. Ravens 24, Bengals 0. I'm breaking my silence. I haven't talked about the Ravens for several weeks now. We were going to talk about them last week after their win streak officially ended. We weren't able to record last week, so we're breaking the silence this week. I wasn't talking about them for a while because I didn't want to mess up the flow. You know what I mean? I'm part of the team. It takes a village, I feel like, to win in the NFL. I feel like I'm part of the team. I feel like I'm a minority stakes shareholder. I own a jersey, which means I have part ownership. And so I didn't want to mess up the flow with the boys. But I'm breaking my silence. We lost 2 weeks in a row, and now we're back on the win column. And before we get into the game, I want to address that my quarterback got 9'd. So in my fantasy group chat, someone had sent me a Photoshop photo of J.J. McCarthy with Lamar Jackson over him. And that got me really confused because Lamar had a good game in this game, so I didn't. They had sent it, when they were playing the Steelers, totally understandable, or against the Bengals, totally understandable. But they had a good game this time around against the Bengals, so I was really confused. I'm not sure if he watches football that much, and I think he's a Cowboys fan, so that explains a lot too. But Lamar played great. He had a good game. So, to say he played poorly is whack to me. So let's just get into it. The Ravens are starting to knock on the door again. The hopes for playoffs are still alive. This has been a season of hell. We're talking 3 different quarterbacks who have started for Baltimore this year. And when we needed our superhero most, he showed up. Winning in the NFL is hard, especially against an in-division opponent that put up tons of points and spanked you 2 weeks prior. Lamar Jackson had 2 passing touchdowns, some breakout runs. I haven't seen Baltimore play complimentary football like this in a while. The Ravens defense was a spark plug. I mean, this is the first time Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have been shut out. Baltimore picked off Burrow twice. Mr. Hypothetical had 0 answers. This is a win or die trying team. They've earned the low expectations because of how poorly they've played most of the year. But we've seen a ceiling as well. And depending on what team shows up, there's like this threatening sense of danger with this Baltimore Ravens team. It feels like every game's a playoff game. Like the Baltimore Ravens are maybe the most battle-tested team in the league. Come playoffs, if they make it, we're going to find out if they're war ready. On the other side of the football, the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to hate everything that is going on in Cincinnati. Fans, let's just get into it. I mean, honestly, the Cincinnati Bengals are a spreading wildfire that's impossible to put out. You have Zach Taylor, who at this point is the worst coach in the NFL. You got Joe Burrow, who has turned into a depressed emo boy, all of a sudden saying he's not having fun. If I'm not having fun, then what's the point of doing it? I just really hope that this belt to ass from the Ravens isn't the 13th reason why for Joe Burrow to retire. You have last year's Triple Crown winner, Jamar Chase, balling out on a 4-win team. If you check out the Reddit for the Cincinnati Bengals, it's a bunch of fans reminiscing about Joe Flacco and his service. There's stats to show that the run game suffers when Joe Burrow is playing. We have season ticket holders emailing the rep to cancel the renewal. When someone says the number 9, nobody thinks of Joe Burrow anymore. So could it possibly get worse for the Cincinnati Bengals? I honestly don't think so. This feels like a new rock bottom. Every season surprises us. I think T. Higgins is also out with a concussion, so there's that. Let's go down the line to Bills 35, Patriots 31. This was a great comeback victory from the Buffalo Bills on the road. If they lost, New England wins the division. When they needed the team to come out with a dub the most, they did it. They really did it. 21-0 comeback on the road. I think Buffalo played great, and you notice how I said Buffalo played great and not Josh Allen. Unlike every other media outlet who assigns the win because of Josh Allen, this was team execution, and Josh Allen, to me, isn't near the top of people who should get praise for a victory like this. I immediately think of James Cook, who had 3 touchdowns, rushed for over 100 yards. I then think of this incredible defensive performance that held the Patriots offense to 1 touchdown in the second half, and they also won the turnover battle. I would then give credit to the number 1 O-line in the NFL who carved space for James Cook to run and also allows Josh Allen to have an abundant amount of time to throw that ball. And this is not to discredit Josh Allen, by the way. None of this could happen without him, but it's bullshit to not mention how the people around Josh Allen are helping the team win games. And anybody who watched this game and thinks Josh Allen should win MVP because of it is an idiot and should not be allowed to talk ball. So, on the other side of the football, the needle doesn't move too much for me on the New England Patriots. I think Drake May is fantastic, and we should all just kind of remind ourselves this is his second year of being a pro. Look at how far he's came. I would take the Patriots to beat the Bills in the third matchup if it happens in part 3. This is the first time Drake May's played against Josh Allen with his new dad strength. That needs to be put on the record. That has to mean something. So I predicted Drake May to beat the Bills the first time. I had the Bills beating Drake May this time. In the third matchup, I go Drake May. So let's move down the line to Jaguars 48, Jets 20. Trevor. This was a good belt to ass for the Jags when they needed to really showcase some offensive prowess. They look more complete than ever at this point in the season when every game feels like the spotlight's on you more. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked like an absolute beast. He was making fantastic plays with his arms and legs. He accounted for 6 touchdowns. I've said it multiple times on this show that I'm a closeted Jags supporter. They've won 5 games in a row. They hold the top spot in the AFC South. Liam Cohen is my coach of the year, by the way. He's turned Trevor Lawrence into a top 10 quarterback this season. He's actually looking like a former number 1 overall pick. His best 2 games have been in the last 2 weeks. It feels like he's finally mastering Liam Cohen's plans and teaching. So this is the first 10-win Jags team in nearly a decade. They are undefeated in the AFC West. Watch out, Denver. You're the last one. So yeah, it's a really fun team in Jacksonville. The defense is great. Myers and BTJ are doing their thing. ETN is back to being a dog. So don't be surprised if the Jags win a playoff game. That's where I'll end the sentence at. All right, let's go to our final game before the interview. Broncos 34, Packers 26. Both these teams are rock stars. This was a very entertaining game, back and forth all the way through. Unfortunate injuries on the Packers side. get better soon, Christian Watson and Micah Parsons. I still think they're going to I still think the Packers are a playoff team, regardless of the injuries. I'm not going to hold them too much accountable for a loss like this. But goddamn, the Broncos look good. And the Broncos seem to have proved everybody wrong. A lot of people owe them an apology, and probably me too. So yeah, Broncos 34, Packers 26. The deputy, Bo Nix, firing bullets to his receivers. Career high 4 passing touchdowns, bringing the Broncos to their 11th straight win, leading the AFC. This win erases almost all criticism. Green Bay played hard. It was a great effort, but this was the best Broncos performance all season long. When the lights were at its brightest, everybody checked the mail because the Denver Broncos are the best fucking team in the NFL. Their defense is top tier. Pat Surtain intercepting Jordan Love in his potentially game-winning drive was beautiful. The Broncos got a man-made, thick quarterback with a killer arm. Some are saying he's the pinnacle of evolution. This is a complete team who plays complete football, knocking down the NFC's third best team. If anybody still thinks they are frauds, I need to know why ASAP. Final remarks. Happy holidays. Be safe. Thank you for your time. Until next time, so long for just a while.